guys, we are in a Porsche 911 997 Turbo that has been slightly tuned by the guys over at Protomotive here in Arkansas, the natural state. This is Cynthia's car, and she likes 911s. Her and her husband build 911s and have been doing so for a very, very long time. And after getting out of the 996 Turbo, that they tuned up to like 1,000 plus wheel horsepower, this thing feels slow and tame and very comfortable, which is good. 997 turbos are not slow, but that being said, after getting out of a tuned, 1,000 horsepower 996, it feels lethargic. Let's call it that. Mainly, honestly, because it does have the Tiptronic. Great daily. This is Cynthia's daily, and I do not that is perfect, not very much lag. And when you do get on it, it still revs to the moon, okay? And I know I mentioned in the 996 video I did not like the steering wheel. This is so much better. Alcantara and the design, the 3-spoke, it's so much better. Looks awesome, feels great. Paddles are good. This is still it's not PDK, so it's a primitive automatic. Yes, there are paddles, which is better than the Tiptronic little pushy buttons, which are terrible on the earlier 997s. These are a lot better. But even still, it's like, okay, going, shift. There's a delay, okay? PDK, on the other hand, is like boom, 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 bang, 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 right? It's like gunshots. It's like pulling a trigger. Instant. Absolutely instant. The steering in this car feels very similar, just about the same. It's a little bit lighter, if I'm honest. It's definitely lighter than the 996 Turbo. It's a little bit more comfortable. It's more refined. And this is a great way to finish off our trip. Now, the reason why I'm driving this 997 Turbo after getting out of a 1,000 horsepower, heavily modified 996 Turbo is to do a quick little bring me back to reality drive, okay? I've become jaded over the past few years with roads untraveled, driving, recently in California, Aussie's Evo, 650 wheel horsepower, Shane's STI, 600 plus wheel horsepower, Skylines with a lot of horsepower, and then I go back to my MR2, currently at 286 at the wheels, and for some reason my MR2 always still feels quick. But when I get, I don't know why that is, but when I get into other cars after driving just now, like a 700 horsepower car, and then into this, which is 500 at the wheels, horsepower and torque, it feels lethargic, honestly. It doesn't feel like the supercar killing machine that the 911 turbos are basically built for, right? The spectrum of things you can do with 911s, air-cooled and water-cooled, is so gigantic. They come as a very well-rounded package, the 911 turbos specifically, as a great GT car, okay? It's a GT sports coupe. That's what it is. The GT3 is a raw sports car. The turbos are a little bit more refined and a little bit more down to earth. They're a little bit more kind of like a turbo. It breathes air, right? That was stupid. So the 996 I just drove is pushed a little bit more to the insane spectrum, okay? It's got a manual, it's got open wastegates, it's got turbos, it's got custom crazy exhaust, and variable boost and all that stuff. Crazy stuff. And also front-wheel drive taken out of that car. This, however, on the other hand, still all-wheel drive, so even more practical, more to the spectrum of a good GT car. It's got the Tiptronic, great for a daily. It's quiet, stock exhaust, and it's just, tuned. It's got upgraded intercoolers. And that's about it. That's about it, right? Same car at the heart of it. I'm looking at the same, basically the exact same tack and speedo and everything, the same kind of infotainment system. Nice seats, very similar seats, nice leather seats. When you actually get down to the handling characteristics, they're virtually identical. They're very, very similar. They're not identical, but they're very similar. And the 996 is just, I don't know, it's great cars, but obviously technology improves with time, right? And this 997 is a few years newer than the 996, so obviously it's going to be a little bit more refined and more comfortable. So now this is a car that you could fall asleep on a road trip in. Is that a good thing? Absolutely not. That's a terrible thing. Would I fall asleep in this car on a road trip? No, because every time I get into a 911, it's still such an occasion. I have not lost that like sparkle in my eye when I get behind a 911 and I'm looking at the steering wheel and the TAC Porsche, and we're just on an open road in the middle of nowhere cruising in a 911. It is the ultimate sports car experience. And I hope that will never go away. 3,000 RPM, foot to the floor. Oh yeah. Okay, never mind. Woo! Still a very, very fast car. Wow. Wow. It's still a very fast car, but you know the thing that's taken away from this car versus the 996? It's not violent. It is not violent. That is the main part. There's no screaming engine behind you. In fact, for better or worse, you don't really hear anything of anything. And that's honestly why I like GT3 cars the most, and probably always will. But this car looks sexy as hell. It's black, it's got side scoops, it's got a subtle rear wing. And you can cover miles. You can cover miles so quickly in this car. These cars are known for torque. 911 turbos have a boatload of torque. And that's something that I'll always be wanting out of a GT3 and a GT3 RS at the low end, 2,000 to 3,000 RPM. The GT3s just don't have that much torque. But a 911 turbo, on the other hand, has a lot of torque. Germany builds something for everybody. Porsche builds something for everybody. A Boxster, if you for some reason want to get a Boxster. A Panamera, if you have a family. A Cayenne, a Macan, if you have a family, right? A 918, if you have a bank account. Right now in my life, it comes down to flying out to Arkansas to borrow someone's 911. That's how much I love these cars. Honestly, you guys, we came down here for one day. We're here for one day. We flew from Vancouver, Canada, all the way to Arkansas for one day to drive a couple 911s and hang out with cool people. And that's why I love this job, and that's why I thank you guys so much for supporting the show, to be honest. So if you guys like this series of videos that we did here in Arkansas and the guys over at Protomotive, definitely go check them out, give them a ring, see what they're all about. They know what's up in the Porsche world, and they know how to build sick cars. They know how to have a good time, and most importantly, they know how to take care of their clients, and they know how to build a good working relationship. So here's to the amazing finesse and ingenuity of German Porsche engineering, and here is to the finesse and really great engineering and attention to detail that Cynthia and Todd at Protomotive have put together in their cars, because it's more than I could have imagined. These roads are more than I could have imagined, and these cars are something else as well. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, definitely subscribe. Hit us up on Facebook and Instagram if you want to see some behind the scenes content, what we're filming. Thank you guys so much for watching. We will see you next time.